My name is Terry Shupe. I'm a retired provincial court judge. I married into the theatre. I fell in love with an actor who was prominent in the creation of Western Canada Theatre, Lanni McInnes. We married in 1973, and so that began the journey to build a building. Tom Kerr. He built a foundation for professional theatre and voice training, and if you ever watched him work, you came to understand how that got done. The productions, although it wasn't at that time a professional company, were professional productions. They were spectacular. And I had seen several of them. I was audience member at that time in what is now Sagebrush was the school auditorium. Lanni was playing the Wicked Witch. And a child in the row in front of me peed its pants. They were so scared of her performance. I thought, well, tucked away in the back of my mind, I'd like to get to meet this woman at some point. A few years later I did. Ultimately we fell in love and stayed in love. 47 years. I think the first Actors Equity show was The Irresistible Rise of Honorary, a lot of years ago. Canada Council were prepared to fund capital projects for regional arts groups, professional arts groups. Well, Tom Kerr had laid that foundation, and so we qualified. And then the fundraising was on. We engaged an architect, Doug Huggins, who knew theater. He was in fact a set designer. He knew his stuff. He built us a model that we used then for fundraising. The city was already on side. The provincial cultural branch was on side, and so was Canada Council. But we had to work hard at it to convince them that this regional theatre could and would survive. We did things that were novel for Kamloops. We did a telethon to pay for the seats. And Terry David Mulligan, who was a Kamloops boy, hosted it. And then bingo and a whole series of things that continued on. My initial step was to incorporate as a society. I took care of that detail, and then we structured it in accordance with that. And when I had spare time, I worked with the carpenters on the sets. I love to make wooden toys. I craft them from raw wood, and I've made them with a variety of designs. I keep trying to add new ones, and I give them annually to Christmas Amalgamated and Salvation Army, but more importantly, overseas as well. Shortly after the theatre opened in '78, actually, we advertised for a new artistic director. We got Michael Dobbin, and his letter was one of a kind I've never seen before. He was candid, articulate, eloquent, and you knew the energy was coming right off the page. Then you do an interview and he blows you away. You know that's your guy. You know, he was basically a city boy, and there he was just knocking it out of the park right from the get-go. And he knew that he had to make it an institution in the community. Not just good shows, but an institution, and he knew how to go about that. And he did. My name is Terry Shupe. I was the founding chairman of Western Canada Theatre. It has been my passion for over 50 years.